for Smallson FACEIT League. Apparently, Fifth Lauren gave away a date. Didn't consent to this, but I approve. Let's go. I wonder who won. We'll see. We'll find out later. It's probably a dude.
Yeah,
So
probably.
So let's move on from this swiftly. All right, guys, you are watching FACEIT League, of course, and we have NiP and Flipsid coming up, and that will be on trains. We just saw NiP on train, and I saw that that Robin was, Fafarian was also a little bit. He's wondering why did they pick train? We weren't seeing a lot of the normal executes you'd expect. What was the decision there? And they of course ended up losing against Fnatic, which is not you can't be ashamed to ever lose against Fnatic, but. Do you have any ideas what's going on here with the choice of train for NiP?
I don't know about that really, but about them not doing the, I think you're referring to the A execute, like the game versus Fnatic now. I think they did it like 4 times and they were really successful. The other rounds they just tried to play like more of a standard type of game where they just try to pick the opponents in alley, pick the opponents in inner. But as soon as they did the execute, they won. And why don't you do this all the time? I think it's like NiP is a team that like they really hate like telegraphing. And by that I mean like throwing like high smokes. For example, the A execute you see teams do on A on cash. When you throw the smokes over the roof, they tend to like want to surprise their opponent's moment,
right.
like just play more of a contact game. Like as soon as they see us, we make a full commitment to the push.
Okay.
And that's why I feel like train is a kind of odd choice for them, because it doesn't really, you can't really move slowly on that map, because as you let the Xizt go aggressive on yard, there's so many angles to check. You basically have to do an execute to like gain ground on yard and the inner bomb site as well. So for me, this map doesn't really fit NiP. The only thing going their way on this map is I think they can have like a complete lockdown as CT, but I don't think they're gonna have a strong T side.
Well, this was a map that in the past was something they loved to play, something that they always favored picking, right? Like in the older iterations of Train. Do you think that's one of the reasons they just want to kind of reclaim some comfort with a map that they feel maybe it's not their best map, but they feel really good on it, essentially?
To be fair, they were so much better than everybody else back in those days, so it's really hard to like make a proper analysis, I think.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because they were like
whatever they would do would work. Because
exactly. And I mean, in the end, like of the old Train, they started to lose against Fnatic. I mean, they lost the last map in the first major, DreamHack Winter 2013.
Yeah.
They lost versus Fnatic on Train as well.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, we will check the brackets really quick so you can get an overview of how things are progressing here. And boom, there it is. Or rather, sorry, the standings. As we can see, it's very early days, but you can see if you're new to FACEIT League Europe, then you can see what teams that we have going on here. And last time it was actually pretty well fought from, despite TSM being the winners of the league, winning the FACEIT, the last FACEIT stage at the LAN finals. They barely made it in. The best of one format was very, very painful. And Envious were a team that also, they actually got relegated. They didn't even qualify. There's no Envious at LAN last time. So it can be a brutal format, but it's the home and away format for these teams. So you get to veto a couple maps, and then the home team gets to pick from the remainder of the maps left, the last 5, and they can play whatever they want of those 5. So there's a lot of flexibility there. And then all the teams will know what map they're going into against what team way ahead of time. And it also means that we get 2 maps for each matchup, basically, a home and away map. So that's the general format here for the FACEIT League. If you're new to FACEIT League, well, welcome. And yeah, we've got NiP and Flipsid on train first of all. And I'm curious about this. I don't think Bondik is actually playing. I think he is otherwise occupied. So okay, so he's going to be replaced by Fix as well. So are you familiar with this player?
No, actually, first time I hear of him. But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot of like new players in Russia that you haven't heard about.
Right.
Usually, like they pick a stand-in, like Cyber Focus, for example.
Yeah.
Last time I hadn't heard of him, and he was like
really good.
Yeah, he was like their best player in that game. Like. So maybe Fix will be like a new star. Who knows?
It's always like that. I remember, back in the old days, especially 1.6 as well. Like it's because there was back then there was way less big orgs. It felt like the talent pool was ridiculously huge, but there just wasn't enough big teams for people to even get into. So it felt like you could like just change any of one of the super top players who was on like SK or something with like a huge selection of other Swedish talent. But these days we do have a lot more orgs going on. So yeah, it's be very curious to see how well he does. And it can also be one of these opportunities for a player to actually stand out and to say, hey, here I am. I think quite a few players have benefited from that in the past by getting to stand in and so on. So I have to see how well he does. And flip side on train, it's very interesting because Na'Vi, I think, are one of the best train teams as well. I would say Virtus.pro, to me, Virtus.pro and Na'Vi, I feel like are actually the two best train teams that I've seen, personally. That's my opinion, at least.
Yeah, have TSM, do they play train? Because I
haven't
feel
seen them play it
they
yet.
would be awesome at it if they did.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah, they would be really good at
Yeah.
it. I have not seen them play train yet. I'm not sure if they have, but either way, as far as what I have seen from Virtus.pro and Na'Vi, I feel like they're the teams that understand the map the best. They execute the best on it, and so I would expect that due to that, you know, Flipside being a team that plays a lot against Na'Vi because you know it's from the same region, plays a lot against Virtus.pro. I would expect Flipside to have like a really good understanding of some of the strong basics on this map as we jump into the 9th round. And I feel like the 9th round is much, well, of course, this is, I think you said it the other night during the HCC Cup. 9th round, oh sorry, the T side is the easiest of any iteration of train in this current version. So
yeah, and it seems kind of back and forth. The last game, NiP Fnatic, that was just played, we saw very heavy seed sides. I think it was 12-3 to Fnatic the first half, and NiP almost made a comeback, so it's gonna be interesting to see if NiP can make a better TF. I think they just want to go for more like basic executes on the yard.
okay, so we shall be kicking things off here shortly, and it's going to be pretty hard. I mean, I always feel like Bondik is one of the most stable players for Flipside, and I always feel like he's super underrated because it's a team which has, you know, Markelov in it, it's got Simple in it, it has WorldEdit in it, you know, who has a really good Opera, and so I feel like, you know, everyone knows who Blade is. I feel like Bondik sometimes goes under the radar, but he's such a consistent performer on the CT side specifically. Like the 1vs, he's so good at like fragging multiple players defensively. But we do have the pistol round kicking off here between Flipside and NiP on train.
And one smoke and one flash on get right. Let's see how he decides to use that. Probably just gonna go for an. Oh, actually, it's through it. Don't know where he smoked.
Okay, so they're just going to go for the contact players you were talking about down into the B-bomb site. Behind that smoke, making absolutely zero noise so far, and they're on the bomb site. So Flipside playing retake here, which is really strong because they had good control of connector the entire time. And now they're going to go in. NiP don't have a lot of space to work with. Friberg going to open up some space with that kill onto WorldEdit, but Fix will trade back onto him. As we have NiP players looking really tested at the moment, getting lower and lower. Fix with another kill onto Get Right, and now it's just Xizt left, but Flipside will deal with him. And this is something I would have loved to have seen from a lot of train games we'd casted recently. Like the B retake there, that was such a strong way to play this.
Exactly, it was a nice thought from Get Right there to call that strat. The basically thought was we throw smoke low, we wait for them to spam the smoke because usually the CTs play very defensively on the pistol. They would just shoot through the smoke. They just walk down. The problem is, as you say, it's so hard to win that retake with 5 CTs alive. So
yeah, unless you have connector somehow. But
yeah.
But they play it in a way that you can't, even though they're not on the site.
They only had one smoke and they used it for low ramp, so you couldn't really push forward.
Yeah, really well done, indeed. So Flipside did win the pistol, and the bomb did go down. So full M4s, you can play at such strong ranges here that it makes a lot of sense. And it's like we might see pretty much the same round. WorldEdit's got just a tiny gap to look over. He's going to spot the player. Spray comes in. He's going to overdo it here. I like that from WorldEdit. Simple up on high, does get dinged. Getting quite low, but it's should be pretty easy for them to clean up. They get another bomb plant, really nice here. It's going to help actually massively in getting the full amount of grenades in the following round. And a clean round here for Flipside, as NiP are going to be able to buy quite well on the following round.
Yeah, very nice for Flipside to get a flawless round there. Didn't buy any SMGs, so they don't have to upgrade this round. No ops, but as we talked about 2 days ago, like having an open train isn't that important anymore, because when teams go yard they usually throw that wall of smoke, so the op is basically useless.
Okay, so we do have 4 M4s still here for Flipside. So this is another trend we would see from Virtus.pro. They don't really pick up any AWPs. They anticipate all these smokes going down to yard. But we have a fast push through yard here. Friberg gets himself a nice spawn into a fast position, a very forward position, which Simple's going to deal with. However, trades will come into play as these open angels are sought after by NiP. And so far, it's looking pretty good for Flipside. Get right could change the dynamic though, and he will take down Blade. So 2-on-2 now as allu comes in from over the top on one of the trains, and it's going to be Get right now tossing in the incendiaries, put the pressure on, and Fix will go down. So pretty nice round there by NiP. Just went for the angels straight up.
Yeah, it was a big deal there that Friberg managed to get out to quad without being spotted. He did go down to Simple, but they managed to trade him pretty quickly. So yeah, very easy round there. Great frags there in allu by Get right.
Okay, so they may just try to do the same thing in a round like this. We'll have to see what their approach is. They should realize that Flipside can actually, force it up a little bit here, and Flipside do need to just swing straight back into this and reassert themselves on the economy. So we do have, so far, NiP just playing a slower rounds.
Yeah, very standard. Just trying to get control of secrets inside. Just force the CTs to have two people defending the inner bomb site.
Okay, WorldEdit with the scout now. Here he goes. Misses the tag. Might not get many opportunities, in a very bad position actually as WorldEdit, and Xizt will spray him down. As Fix looks for a frag as well, but these this is like an aim map, with some of these jewels here on these positions over at the B bomb site. Forest will lose out to Fix as Friberg goes in for the lurk here, and NiP feels like despite having a 2-on-4 here, it's still very doable with Friberg coming in connected, but Xizt had to survive there, and Friberg has not got really the time. Flipside will win the round, so well done to them. Again, we saw the very similar problem as to the pistol round.
Yeah, exactly. They have to go aggressive when they take that inner bomb site. Even though it can be hard to push forward there, the CTs can sneak behind the trains. You have to do it, because if you wait for the CTs, they can just throw proper smokes, push you back, and there's no way you're going to be able to defend that bomb. I
remember once seeing a team actually have an issue where they went for the B push, and I can't remember which team it was. It was one of the European teams for sure. And what happened was, they went for the plant on B. They got the plant, but there was a CT who was in the secret area who actually got a kill on one of their players. But instead of going back to kill him, they pushed all the way down the yard, which is so smart because they immediately take control of connector, and that guy can't do anything from that position. So they didn't obsess over him holding that area, and instead made the right call, which is so smart in the moment, not to worry about that guy and leave him there. So that is that take of the entire B yard is so important. They have pistols coming in. They do actually take down one. Simple has fallen, but the health is slowly melting away for NiP. But they might just sneak a plant. Not quite.
And they really should try doing what they did on that eco on the weapon round now, because sure, 4 players on Flipside survived, but it was an even trade at first, 4v4. NiP managed to get some ground on yard, and they managed to go up with a bomb on the bomb train. And if they would have had more nades and AKs, they probably could have won that round. Okay,
so we have the AWP on allu now, so he's looking at potentially try to play the pick game. It's quite difficult on this map to play the pick game though, and Simple is AWPing also. WorldEdit's going to get a quick kill. That's really nice. Can just fall back now onto the bomb site safely. And 4-on-5. NiP they only have 2 smokes as well, so their options start to get a little bit more difficult with the lack of grenades. And we've got Friberg just providing some pressure towards allu at the moment, whilst the rest of his team, as we can see, just set up in the secret area. And waiting for a push. They really want an equalizing frag. They want somebody to overstep, but Flipside, they are playing this really smart.
Yeah, I like that they only have, they play very defensive on the inside, because then they can rotate back to the yard so quickly as well.
And we have NiP who are going to be forced to make a move relatively shortly here. There's 45 seconds left on the clock, as some of the nades are used by Flipside to create delay, but they are pretty much out of grenades now. They've got 2 flashes, and that's it. So here we go. NiP in with the smokes, with the flashes, looking to get the bomb down. WorldEdit in a nice position with the FAMAS. Perfect flash though, going to force him back as Simple looks for the shots right at the back of the B-bomb site. And there's a nice flick there. WorldEdit is still alive as well. So much damage being done here. Simple gets another one, and it's just on Friberg. He has got an entire team to take down right now, this AK, and he can't get any frags. I'm really impressed by WorldEdit's decision making there and the way that he took the jewels, because he stayed alive and got that opening kill, stayed alive when the entire team pushed the site, he's still alive.
Yeah, exactly. The thing you want to do if you're the guy defending inner, it's not you don't want to go for like a crazy 2 or 3 kills on the low ramp. You just want to, as you said, stay alive, just hold the pushes, because the only way the teams can win that after plant on the bomb site is if they take connector, if they push you back. So as long as you stay alive and just try to defend, you're gonna be fine.
And that puts NiP back to Eco Town. And Flipside so far playing pretty well. And what they're doing as well, like positionally, is pretty awesome actually. They are looking very tight, very solid. They kind of react very well to what kind of ground NiP have. And also how their advantages and disadvantages, they try to play them properly also.
I really want to see NiP being a execute now with the wall of smokes.
But every time we call for this, but in the past, nobody does it. And it's super weird because it's really strong. And it's hard to have there's no like counter really that I could have seen.
Yeah, I mean the best counter is having 2 guys aggressive on yard, but then you're so committed to play aggressive on yard, so you really don't want to do that anyways. So it's really tough for the CDs to handle.
Because pre-nading it is really difficult as well, because you don't know when it's going to come and it happens so quickly. And then there's 5 people in your face, because it'll be like people coming out from main and also Pop Dog. But we have a pretty aggressive play there on inner. That's actually pretty bad for NiP because they can't really react to this because they got 2 players on alley, so they can't capitalize on those players being stuck up there.
And this is what I was talking about. It's so hard to go for picks on train. But NiP just feel confident that it can do it.
Yeah, GetRight's moving forwards now on alley to see what he can get done in the way of picks. And the contact will be made here as well by Pop Dog. Forest peeking out at the same time that GetRight takes his engagement, so you can see the coordination from NiP here, but they're just not winning the duels. Friberg will pick off Blade, but it's a more than positive trade here for Flipside. They'll finish it off with 3 surviving players, and this seems to be a common trend now that Flipside are having very efficient rounds. And you can see it reflected in their money, and that seems to suggest that NiP's approach, I mean, okay, you can always argue that if you hit your shots in this game, then that's great. But it feels like their approach is not consistent so far in doing damage even.
And NiP going for the Tech 9 armor buy now, with only 1 smoke on Friberg, probably gonna go for an inner take. But there are 2 people on the low ramp, so it's not gonna be easy for NiP.
3 kills already coming in for Flipside on the defense as allu goes in for a nice quick response. But getting the bomb down is going to be a significantly difficult task as Blade comes in ready to keep pushing, and they have an HE, they got flashes, and Friberg's only got 15 HP and nowhere to hide. He goes for the pre-fire, he will tag Blade down to 35, but there is the nade that we were talking about, and it's going to be 8-1 now for Flipside as NiP are looking to be in quite a lot of trouble. We see double orbs, so they want to open up with picks again, so we're not going to see that wall of smokes play just yet from them.
Yeah, I'm interesting to see what they're going to do with the double op. Maybe they just had like really good spawn or something. Probably going to go fast alley and 1 fast T main.
It's actually Friberg who's got the AK who's going alley. But we've got a 3-man push on alley here for Flipside. They want to get a quick kill. And Friberg's isolated, he's alone, so this could work out. Unless Friberg managed to hit a shot. Friberg goes for the peek when he hears the shot whiffed there by Simple, and that was the perfect bait into Markelov, who claims the kill. 8-1 is the score right now, and another advantage found early here for Flipside, compounded by Blade coming in with that quick frag on to GetRight, and they're getting picked off. They're getting beat at their own game at the moment. RNIP.
Yeah, they really need to stop to go for this picking kind of game. Doesn't work that well on this map.
It's really, really hard.
I mean, at least they could use like just a few flashbangs, like just maybe work 2 people out instead of 1, and just like, okay, I'm gonna throw a pop flash, you can take peek. Right now they're just walking 1 by 1.
And just Forest left alive now as well. And to like build on your point as well, from a conceptual point of view, oh, Forest should get this one. Yes, he will. Well, let's give it a pause and see if he can actually pull something out of the bag here. He's got 30 seconds left to play with at the moment as he scans the yard area. But this is the problem. They can hide behind so many trains and pull him from one angle to another so easily, so quickly. Now Forest is in for a really rough ride. Oh, spots the next player. Looks for the next one. Forest gets himself 3 kills now. Oh, I saw the no-scope happening, but it's not going to happen this time. And Flipside are going to pick up both orbs. Wow. You gotta, you can never count Forest out. Especially with
that would have been like the round of the year.
Yeah.
If he would have managed that. But yeah, now 9-1 now, and NiP should be thinking that they should try to do something differently now. Because the rounds haven't been that close, to be honest.
The wall of smokes is even stronger now as well because there's 2 AWPs
and
for the CTs.
And look, it looks like they're actually going for it.
Here we go. Smokes coming in, and we are going to see the execute. First time it took 11 rounds for us to see this. Now can they make it happen? They're a little bit slow out of the gate right now to try to punish, but they are moving in as 5, which is how you got to do it. And flip side, they are so forward and playing together. They are crushing NiP, and the counter grenade slowed them down out of the choke points. And we saw that. I think it's really clear here that flip side. I think this is the thing I was talking about. I think they've played against that so much because this Na'Vi do that setup for so much on their T sides.
Yeah, and I wonder, Fix actually broke the window, and NiP hadn't broke the window. So I wonder if the smoke NiP uses is like dependent on the window not being broken, and that kind of like screw up the round there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we have just Tech 9 armor for NiP now to try to claim some rounds, and flip side with their solid defense making this look like quite a CT-sided map at the moment, and normal setup here from flip side, playing very far back. Very passive, very tentative on B, because you can go for the retake as long as you can hold on to the connector and allow your CTs to rotate out of there easily. And that's the most important thing. We got Friberg in with a quick frag. This could change things quite dramatically if he's able to follow up onto Blade. But then bomb goes down over towards B here, so NiP all over the place, really forcing Flipside to some awkward duels, but they are managing to do quite well at the moment. In goes Fix with the spray down, gonna get both players as it's gonna be just now Get Right who remains with that Tech 9 armor of his, with that bomb still ticking away. He's just gonna go for it. Oh my god, the snap onto the first player long range, but it's gonna be the defuse. Flipside 11 to NiP's 1.
And even though they got destroyed when they did a wall of smoke, I would like, they should try it, maybe have a different approach, maybe go more people top down. I think they went 3 or 4 people A main, and that Molotov that Flipside threw just completely screwed them up so much there. So I would really like NiP to just try to go for an execute instead of going for the picking game, even though they lost it last time.
Yeah, because I mean, one of the strong things about it as well is you can get people so, like 5 people out so fast behind those smokes that it makes it risky, as you said before, if CTs are playing forwards because the odds are unfavorable. But we've got a push in secret here from WorldEdit. Going to take down one player, looks for the second. Jalli's going to win that one as well. This is looking really awkward right now for NiP, but it's going to be the return of Get Right as he frags WorldEdit and allows his team an entry point potentially towards the B bomb site. But we have Flipside slowly rotating, Fix in a forward position with the AK ready in hand, looking for that cross. Going to spot the first player, spray down. That's the bomb also taken down, and it's going to be Blade who finishes off Get Right. So Friberg coming in now from the back. He's got to kill 3 players. There is definitely time on his side at the moment to try to find some favorable engagements, but after the first kill, his position is going to be known. If he's even to get the first kill, and he's going to spot the first one. Now they know where he is. They have only one nade. He smartly switches out for the AWP for these long-range engagements, and they're not peeking. Very smart. Markelov has the angle from an unknown location as far as Friberg is concerned. And another round goes to Flipside, 12-1. That aggression so perfectly timed.
Yeah, NiP had a great opening in that round. However, the second kill of WorldEdit on Forest, a frag which I honestly don't think he should have gotten, won them that round. I mean, Forest is not happy about that. If Forest would have killed WorldEdit in secret, NiP would have so much map control, and they would have had a 5 versus 3 situation, or sorry, 4 versus 3.
Absolutely, and it's a full buy for NiP, but they are stuck with one Tech 9 on allu. It's not the biggest deal in the world though, but Blade, oh wow, what that pick is just phenomenal. Just swings out the train, finds Friberg with a nade in his hand. It makes it look so easy, like he's got his rollerblades on, doing little pirouettes, and now we have the push into the bomb site coming in from NiP. They need some rounds here. They've only got 1 so far. Now, we do have some counter grenades coming in from the CTs. The numbers game is really not looking good here for the terrorist side. NiP will get the bomb planted though. Forest and Get Right picking up kills respectively, but still man advantage here. But it is eliminated by Forest. Just Blade and Markelov left over, but in come the one-on-ones, and right at the end it's going to be Blade. He's going to secure things with the help of Markelov. And Get Right and Forest did so much work right at the end there, but they're not getting the fast frags at the start of the round to get them that position.
And I wonder how many rounds NiP has gotten 3 frags. And so, like, it's not that NiP is getting completely demolished, it's just they're getting to, like, 3v3 situations, and after that, Flipside is just, hey, look at Fix, 20 kills.
There you go. Fun fact, there was a Finnish player in Quake Quad who was called Fix, and he was one of the best Quake Quad players in TDM. Just a fun fact there. That's the only other player I've seen called Fix, but he's not finished. Either way, we do have Simple going down straight away. This could be the start that NiP needed, although Get is going to just jump out into the welcoming arms of Markelov. And again, these engagements are just completely going the way of Flipside. We do have Get Right and Friberg fighting back. Xizt, last man standing by the electric box. And he's got 24 HP, and there's still nades on Flipside to abuse. Not going to need them. Again, it just feels too easy right now. That was such a fast half. That was insanely fast. And we saw one attempt at the A execute, all the smokes. And the smokes were a little bit, they weren't perfect. And maybe one of them, as you said, was kind of messed up by the glass being broken by Flipside.
Yeah, and 14-1. And one thing I really dislike with NiP's play there as well was when they started to losing many rounds in a row, instead of going for like a full eco, they always went for the Tech 9 half buy and then AK armor. Then Tech 9 half buy, instead of going for like, okay, it's train. We can't really win with techs because they can just abuse the long distances on this map. We should just go for the full eco, and we can buy fully 1 or 2 more rounds this half.
Yeah. And Flipside already showed that they were not going to let themselves be exploited by the Tech 9 buy. They were, like you said, that they were actually showing that, hey, we will play long range against this as well. So either way, we're into the pistol. Got Jalli's on Get Right. Forest going to be flashed in. Oh, wow, that flashed almost the entire team there. Oh, Forest going to find a lot of players. Gets tagged down a little bit here, but it's looking interesting now as NiP scattered on the A bomb site. 3-3. And Flipside playing it slow now. Get Right in with the Jalli's. And we got Friberg with his one-on-ones here. Allu will take down Blade. Flipside going to try to wrap in now as they have slowly taken control of Allu. But it's looking really weird at the moment because they're kind of stuck here. They have both Get Right and Allu who are just, rattling off shots from behind these trains. And they still can't quite make their way onto the side. They're kind of getting zoned out by NiP's Allu and Get Right at the moment. So pretty well done by NiP. Get Right's waiting with the Jallies.
And this is smart by Flipside. They just want to wait, so NiP has to rotate to the inner bomb site.
There's the Jalli leads. Oh my god, if he had any other pistol, I swear he gets that kill. If that's what it feels like. Oh my goodness. 15-1. Match point now for Flipside. And this is a map that NiP chose as well. Yeah,
and I talked about NiP is a team that is able to take like 14 rounds straight as Siege on this map. They're just so strong on the Siege side. At least they were on the old train. However, when they lost the pistol and with the economy now, this should not be doable.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can break the bank of Flipside in this round and get that momentum together. Because if they do win this round, then they're going to have a solid chance to get a good economic situation. But Bay's going to take the first kill onto Forest. And now Get Right's looking for something with the scout there. Finds the first player, finds the head of Fix with that scout. And that's going to be a 4-on-4 now as the bomb does get planted by Flipside. Xizt coming in from the black. He's going to hear Blade just messing around on the ladder. He's going to have none of that. As we have WorldEdit and Simple coming back with frags of their own. So 2-on-2 right now. Markelov able to take down Friberg, but it's Allu now. It's all Allu for NiP. Again, Simple goes for the fake. Simple looking for the shot, and he'll get it. 5 HP left, but Simple will claim the last kill. 16-1 on train. And I expected Flipside to do really well, because I know that Na'Vi play this map loads. I know they play with Na'Vi a lot, but I didn't expect it to go that well.
Yeah, the thing is though, I mean, sure, it's 16-1, but it's maybe not like... You're starting T on train, you're losing both pistols. This can happen. Like, just imagine if NiP would have won both pistols, or like at least one, or maybe if NiP has started as CT, like this would have been a completely different game. At least they would have gotten like up to 10 rounds. So even though the score says 16-1, it doesn't really feel like that kind of a game, because NiP had a few rounds as T which they could have won. So I mean, great play from Flipside, of course.
I mean, One of the things I always loved about the way Virtus.pro, because I know I'm bigging them up. I sound like a Virtus.pro fanboy right now, guys, but their train game is really good. So one of the things that I really like from them, because you always got to take from the best, like what they use and try to use them as the model. And like talking about the pick game, they don't ever really try that much at all. And I think one of the concepts to mention with like the entire concept of the pick game is really like a huge pro is to be able to then abuse rotations. Because if you're able to pick off a player, you thin out the defense, you create hard decisions for the CTs on where to place their remaining players, and then there are more openings. But we see with Train that because B is such not an easy, but it's such a retakeable bomb site, especially if you can hold connector. We saw that from Flipside, and there were many rounds where they wouldn't really have anyone in B, but they would make sure that they would have connector always, so they can quickly have a fast response into the B bomb site if they need it, so that the T's cannot push forward and lock them down at the choke point. And we saw that every round that it looked like a bomb plant went down for free, they're able to easily retake go through connector into the retake, and that's I think another argument against the picking game on this map where rotations are so easy and retakes so easy.
Yeah, the only way a picking game works on Train is if you're like super superior to your opponent. Like as long as your opponent like knows the basics of the game, you shouldn't really be able to like walk down Pop Dog and just because they can like sit behind the electric box, they can be on the trains, they can be behind the trains. There's like a million different angles they can sit at. So like the seat is their advantage is just too big.
Absolutely. So guys, we'll take a quick look at our Vulcan picks because that's actually we've got Threat to pick this team. So I want to hear it. Why you chose which player and so on.
I picked 3 NiP players and they just lost 6 to 1.
This is gonna be good. All right, guys, here we go. Let's jump into that. And actually, I have some more point. I have another point as well about Train. Oh yeah. So okay, we're going to that afterwards, of course. Okay, if I don't forget. All right, so tell us, why did you pick the players that you chose?
Well,
simple as your shot caller. I can see that.
Yeah, well, I basically just picked 3 NiP players because they were playing 2 games tonight, and picking simple, obvious reasons, I guess. He
almost always top frags.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he's as consistent as Guardian, but he's one of those kinds of players for sure.
Yeah, and Blade has actually been playing pretty well individually lately.
Yeah.
And he was kind of cheap, so I was like, yeah, I can take him. And obviously Olaf Meister. And I picked WorldEdit because I thought that NiP was going to go for the picking game, and I thought WorldEdit was going to op, which he didn't, but he managed to get some frags at least, so a decent pick.
All right, so I don't think we're doing too well today. We have you to blame. But another point I want to make about Train before we go to break, because we are going to have a bit of a longer break, guys, because the next match is scheduled. It's Titan and Envious, and it's Titan's pick for Dust 2. That's going to be really good. But it's scheduled to happen in 2 hours from now, I do believe. And Maniac's not playing. His PC broke or something, so he's being subbed out.
Who's playing instead of him?
I don't know just yet. I'm not sure if they found even a sub yet, but there will be a sub coming. So another point about Train, right, which is one of the reasons why I think the Wall of Smokes play is so cool, is that, of course, you can get the 5 players out onto the yard really fast, so you can have really favorable the trading game. But once the bomb goes down, like just from personal experience, when you're trying to retake that site after the bomb's gone down, let's say it's like even like a 1-on-2 or something, even like that, we have to look everywhere. They can be anywhere. But if it's the B site, it's very easy to know, well, they have to be in this field of view. But otherwise, on A, it's like so hard. So that's another reason why, like, if you can get A plants, it's so strong.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, sure, you can get shut down as you're running out towards the yard, but it's like you're playing T on Train. You're not supposed to have an easy time, and like, you just need that first pick if you do that strat, and that's like good enough for it to be a good strat as T on Train, because you're not gonna find another strat which is like, oh, we got this T on T side Train strat which we win 100% of the time.
Yeah,
like, there's no way.
Doesn't exist. Yeah.
So even though like NiP I think they just got a bit scared off when they did that execute, and they threw the Molo into A main, they just got completely stopped. Maybe if they just would have ran through the Molotov, I don't know, but
save a smoke to
exactly.
pop it there. Yeah.
This is a trap like many teams can fall into. Like you do a strat and then you might just get demolished, and then you're like, okay, we can't do that strat anymore. We're just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
And that's not like, there's other factors that can like like maybe one of their players had a great round or whatever, maybe you should try it again. Like
Yeah, maybe they just
Yeah.
accidentally had
yeah, exactly.
the right mix up that round. Yeah, it happens. It's a variance thing. This is why poker is such a good Like you can take some good concepts from poker because because it's about sample sizes, and then from a sample size of like we've run this strat like 100 times, you know, you can start to understand. Okay, maybe 70% of the time it works. That in many spots is going to make it like the right play. So even if it's not going to work out, you cannot be results oriented. Basically, that's the entire point.
Yeah, a good example of that is like retakes in general. Like you have a 2v3, like let's say you're gonna retake A on dust 2, and it's like you can see teams doing it. It's like, oh, they won that round. It's so smart by them, blah blah. Blah.
Yeah.
But not really. Like you should save your weapons.
Yeah.
If you're not in like the opponents have 13, 14 rounds and you're down to like 5 rounds, like you have to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you never want to be in the position where you have to do it because you want to save the weapons because in a 2v3 on any map, a retake, it's like you maybe have 20% win rate or something.
Exactly. Versus if you save the guns and you get the buy again, then you're like maybe because it's more favored CT, like a 70% chance to win the round. So you're playing for that. That's the situation that happens a lot. But the thing is, as well is that I think it's very easy because I think there's actually a lot of interesting points about CS:GO right now because if you look at the nature of the pistols, I think they encourage more gambly play styles because you can more often of the time just buy a Tech9 or just buy a Deagle, right? And then get like a crazy shot, and then because people see it so often, it creates this almost this false mindset of like, well, actually, it's a consistent way to play the game. When in reality, it can happen, but the consistency isn't really there. What you should be making consistent is your buy rounds. That's what you should have as the most consistent thing, not so. And because I remember we commented about this when we saw teams. You're in a spot where you just need to win a round. Why are you buying deagles all the time? Just to randomly just get the buy rounds out. That's where you should have done your practice, where you should be strongest. So another interesting concept there. So any other points you want to go over? Because we do have, of course, we can just talk if you want to, as there will be a 2-hour gap here.
Well, not really. I just heard that Irek is going to take the last spot in.
Irek. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he's often subbing for Titan. All right, guys. So we will take a break. We'll be back in a couple hours, or probably a little bit longer, because that match was so quick. I think it's 22 CET, if I'm not mistaken, that the Titan Envious match is going to go live. Irek will be subbing in for Maniac, whose PC is currently defunct. Oh, it's 23. Sorry about that. It's 23 CET. And that will, so that should be a really fun match, actually. Dust 2 between Titan and Envious is always really good. Envious's new style is awesome to watch. They're the most exciting team for me to watch personally right now because of the new style. But guys, we shall see you at 2300 CET for Titan and Envious, but we're signing off for now.